Yo, this is Vicious V, the greatest teacher MC, and I'm about to hit you with some deadly rhymes. I'm talking Shakespeare's Macbeth deadly. Here we go. Macbeth starts out as a hero to his land. He sliced a dude in half with the might of his hand. His future seemed hopeful, abundant, and grand, but three random witches had something else planned. Twisted like an ampersand, plotting and scheming, fixing to get Macbeth ambitiously dreaming. They stopped him in the street to tell him he'd be king. With confusion on his face, he asked, "Is that a thing?" Feeling ambivalent, he wrote Lady Macbeth. She was quite malevolent, pushing the king's death. Macbeth says, "Wait, I'm the king's biggest fan." His wife says, "Great, but are you a man?" If you're into witches and a lot of death, you ought to check out Shakespeare's Macbeth, a play about a king who committed heinous crimes, a man almost as deadly as these rhymes. They dispatched Duncan like yesterday's donuts, but Macbeth then starts to go nuts. Macbeth murdered sleep, came a disembodied voice. Maybe this whole murder thing wasn't the best choice. Macbeth becomes king, the prophecy came true, but his demented mind continues to stew. If I was dead like Duncan, then I wouldn't rue, but I have to admit, I'd still be blue. The rest of the play is a hot, violent mess. Macbeth turns to murder to relieve his stress. Like a medieval Scottish son of Sam, he takes out Banquo, then Macduff's whole fam. If you're into witches and a lot of death, you ought to check out Shakespeare's Macbeth, a play about a king who committed heinous crimes, a man almost as deadly as these rhymes. The Scots get sick of this homicidal clown. Their soil turned red, which once was brown. They travel to England to beseech the crown. Can we get some help to take the psycho down? The English agree, and the battle is on. The witches keep making Macbeth their pawn. They tell him, "Mac Daddy, you can't be unseated. Any man born of woman shall be defeated." This turns out to be an epic prank. No redemption for Macbeth, this isn't Shawshank. He was just gonna have to walk the plank, so Scotland could be a nation, not a Shark Tank. If you're into witches and a lot of death, you ought to check out Shakespeare's Macbeth, a play about a king who committed heinous crimes, a man almost as deadly as these rhymes. It would be wise to heed the lesson of this tale, that sometimes when you succeed, you really fail. Pursue your dreams, but keep your methods in check, or your life might become a pathetic wreck. And if you ever come across some witches on your way, you're best off ignoring everything they say, or your dreams may result in people dead, and the figurative and literal loss of your head. Vicious V killing it again, going hard like the bard, bringing the sound and the fury. You other rappers don't want to come around here. Peace.